record. And welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me today. And what I'm going to do in this particular session is I'm going to start off, give you a little bit of a tour of the Google Classroom Resources Hub for now, and then I'm going to dive right into the actual content management in a Google Classroom. Okay, so if you're not in this yet, just follow the instructions I gave in the email with the step-by-step slide deck to get you into the resource hub. And if you're struggling with that a little bit, just let me know and I'll get you in by the end of this session. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so here we are, and I just want to remind you as an instructor, if you want to invite someone into the class, you've got two ways you can do it. You could do it using people and by adding in personal Gmail accounts, or you can do it this way. Okay, so the email I sent out today gave you the option to go in this way. I just wanted to see if you could get yourselves in using that way, because sometimes it's a little bit easier for some candidates who might be struggling with logins and logging out of their board accounts, their board Chrome accounts. Okay, what I'm going to be doing for the next two sessions, well, I put yesterday's session here, information. I put today's session information here, and I'll put tomorrow's information session in as well. And for Thursday, there'll be the office hour. There'll be the office hour information posted on the stream. Okay, and that's this tab over here. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into the classwork area, and right now it's most of it is a skeleton. Okay, but I've got a lot of the resources already up and able for you to access. So this area here I'm calling the collaboration hub. And basically, these are just discussion areas, okay, where you can go in, and if you want to post, a best practice, or you have a question, or it's an interactive area for you. These are pretty casual areas. I've created one for just all PCO instructors, and then I've got one for just PQP and one for SIA. Okay, and we'll see how that all works out. But I wanted an interactive area in here. In this area here, we'll post more generic instructor resources, things that like how to submit your invoices, just stuff in general that Vanessa might want to include in the hub. Okay, under instructor Google resources, what I've done is I've taken the materials from yesterday and I've curated in here. So for example, the walkthrough that I did about a week or so ago, that is in here. So all you have to do is click on it and it opens up the slide deck, okay, which was just that sort of high level overview walkthrough of a Google Classroom. That's that. Okay, let me just go back. Okay, so that's in here. There's a really fun 16-minute video tutorial from YouTube, which I like. She's so positive and she takes you through in about 16 minutes. This is a great link to a teacher resource center for Google. So there's, step-by-step tutorials, documents, videos, all kinds of stuff here that you can access. This has more to do with resources, teacher resources for distance learning. Some of this might actually come in handy now that you're helping your staff, move to a distance learning model. And these are just, some tips on enabling distance learning. This is a document, you just click on it and it'll open it up for you, okay? Now, I just want you to realize these are not interactive areas. If you look at this is the materials tab. Okay, so that means there's nothing to do in here other than access information, okay? And this will become a little bit more clear to you as we move forward. In this area here, a lot of the candidate Google resources are set up. So for example, the how to set up a Gmail account. That's that thing you might send out to your students when you send out your initial welcoming email to them. Okay, over here, this is that alternative way of how to join a Google Classroom, and I'm just going to click on it, okay, just to sort of show you Okay, so let me hit present just for fun. So you see it big screen. Okay, so this is just how to join a Google Classroom. Okay, and basically, I think the easiest way that avoids a lot of trouble in terms of board accounts and everything else is if you just go into your personal Gmail account. Okay, you click on the, so there's the Gmail account there. You then click on the waffle, which is on the top right-hand side of your screen. Once you're into your personal account, then step 3, click on the classroom icon. Okay, once you're in to your classroom area in your personal Gmail, you click on the plus sign. That's going to open up a window that says join class. Okay, and that window is going to open up another little box, a dialog box in the middle of your screen, and it's going to ask you for the classroom code that your teacher has provided to you in an email. In this case, that's the classroom code for the resource hub. All right, then you're going to hit join, and that's it. And then you go in. I've included a slide in this explanation for the instructor. So if you're wondering where do I get the classroom code is right underneath the title for your course. Okay, you just click on the box. It will open up this. You copy and paste it, and that's what you would include in an email. Okay. So I just kind of wanted to give you that step by step that your students can use that. And then I think we're quite familiar with how to submit a response and reply, how to submit an assignment. Those slide decks are in there. And then if you are using Twitter at all, and you might have a candidate or two who are not on Twitter yet, I've included a 2-minute video from YouTube on how to set up a Twitter account. Okay, so all of these resources are here. You can share them with your students, okay? Just gonna pop into the chat box, okay, to see, okay, like your hat, thank you. Hey, I did an inventory this morning and I've got enough hats to last me for a while. So you can just download them. Yeah, I could download them and make a copy of them for yourself, okay? And I can, so for example, okay, I would go here, and I hope to God it works. So I'm clicking on it. Okay, so now I've opened it up. If I want to make a copy for myself, okay, or I want to embed it in my classroom, most of your classrooms are going to have all of these resources anyway, but let's say, you know, just for our purposes now, I'm going to hit File, going to come down here. I can make a copy, or I can make a copy of selected slides if I click here, but I'm going to click on entire. You'll see that it calls it a copy of, so you'll know the difference between. And then I have some options here. I can share it with the same people, copy comments if there are, or get rid of them or resolve them, remove the speaker notes if there are any. I hit OK. Okay, and now that's going to go into my drive. I'm making a copy of that slide deck for me. Okay, and there you go. All right, and then I can now share that link. And you know what? While I'm at it, I may as well do this because this is part of what I wanted to do today anyway. So let's say now I wanted to share it with my candidates. I could do one of two things. Okay, I can click here. Okay, and this is going to allow me to share. Okay, I always like to click up here. Okay, and this determines what the share settings are going to be for this slide deck. Okay, so right now when I open it up, it says anyone at CPCO Ontario with the link can view. Okay, when I'm dealing with students and I don't know what's going on, or candidates, and I don't know, you know, how they're logging in, where they're logging in, and I just want them easy access to it, I click on more, okay, which gives me different options. So I can put it on the public web. Okay, I could share it with a link, okay? And then it gets more and more restrictive in terms of who I can share it with. Typically what I like to do is I click up here, so it's on the public web. I'm not really worried about this being such gold that people are going to steal it anyway, okay? And then I jump down over here where it says access, okay? And currently it just says can view. Now what this means is whoever I'm going to share this with can only view it. They can't make any changes to the original. But let's say I'm working online and I want people to contribute to a slide deck. Okay, I want them to contribute to a slide deck, and I want that, that's a way that I'm going to encourage some interactivity during my session. I'm going to click here, okay, and I can either get them to comment on any aspect in the slide deck, or I typically just say can edit. I'm going to hit save. Okay, and now I've opened this document right up. I'm going to copy the link. I hit done. Okay, and you know what? Let's say I had an activity planned. I want you all to participate. What I am going to do now is I am going to look for the chat box right there. Sorry, I'm going to put the link in here, and many of you are already doing this. Okay, so I'm not showing you anything new. I've sent you the link. If you click on that, it's going to open the slide deck. And you know what, as an instructor, I might say, and I'd obviously have this set up ahead of time, okay, what I would say is, okay, on this slide, please, insert your, a response, okay, create, add some text to it. Or what I like to do is I like to create what I call like little virtual Post-its, okay. So give me a sec here, that's not what I want. I create like little virtual Post-its for candidates. And I just do something like this. I like to change the colors because I like different colors, right? Maybe we'll just stick to this pastel-y kind of thing. And then I would say, okay, pick a Post-it, add a note. Okay, click on it and add a note, right? So if you're already in and you want to give it a shot, go for it. But once you're in as a student, you would just click on it and then add text, right? Right in there, okay? And that's, that encourages a little bit of interactivity and fun, okay? So again, you're doing all of that through your share settings here. And this works, this exact process that I walked you through right now works with all Google documents, okay? And you have to keep in mind that whenever you're sharing stuff, if people can't get in, it's typically because the share settings haven't been set so that you can allow them in, okay? And, like I said, if I'm working with a group of people, I just open up the share settings completely. I'm either can edit, okay? So let me jump in again, okay? I'm gonna go here. So I open it up wide. I don't bother with some of these other ones, okay? So I open it up on the public web, and then really the other key area to keep in mind is right here where it says access, can edit, okay? And then I have my choices here. So if I don't want them, if I want them just to view, I just, that's what I click. If I want them to add or collaborate, I'm gonna click can edit. And I hit save and grab the, I just changed this here for some strange reason, okay? Just in case you're going in. Then I can copy the link from here, and then we're off to the races. Okay? Sound good? All right, so I wanted to answer that question. It was a really good question, so thank you for that. I know that was long, but I wanted to answer that for you. Okay? So then over here is the submitting an assignment and the Twitter. Okay, we did that. All right, now underneath all of this right now is just sort of bare bones and skeleton. Some of this might change, so I might not have separate areas. It might just be PQ1, Part 1 instructor resources, and then everything would go under there. And then the same thing might happen for PQP2, and the same thing might happen for SIA. We'll see as we get stuff where it all sits in the end. Okay, so this is this particular hub. No one will be evaluated in here. There's an area for you to post best practices. And of course, if you had any questions or anything, I've left the stream on the main page open for you to go in and you can post stuff. You can upload files and do all kinds of stuff here in the mainstream, okay? And this you're probably all quite familiar with because it pretty much mimics what you've got in the Teach Ontario site, okay? Sound good so far? If you're okay, thumbs up. I'll do a little bit of a scroll. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to move on now, and I'm going to just jump into, the classroom, because what I'd like to do is start working. I'm just going to work in the sandbox for now, okay? And then I may pop into an old class of mine just to show you some pieces, okay? So I'm going to go into the classwork area, okay? And, you know, I haven't released all this stuff. We know that because, you know, the stuff that is not released is still gray, okay? And the stuff that has been released, the couple of things that I did release to you yesterday, for those of you who are in this classroom, is darker, okay? If it's gray, it hasn't been released to the students. If it's dark, it means it has been. And then on the side here, you'll see that, oh, okay, I set a due date of May 31st on this one, so I have posted it, and your candidates or your students are going to see it, okay? Now, let's say I want to, you know what, I think I want to add in an assignment, okay? And an assignment means that I'm going to ask my students to, you know, write a reflection or something, okay? And so for those of you who were with me yesterday and you're in the classroom, if you go back into the Google Sandbox, okay, I'm gonna add the assignment, and you'll see it in a moment once I've created it. So feedback and reflection from yesterday, okay? Very casual title. Okay, I'm gonna call that, so I'm just gonna type in my instructions. Take a moment and provide me with some feedback regarding yesterday's Google session, okay? Boom, okay? Now, if I wanted to, I could give you some kind of a template, okay? Or I could link it to a slide deck, or I can get you to watch a YouTube video on how to write a very rich reflection. I could do any of that stuff, right? If my file sits in my Google Drive, I click on this and it'll take me right into my Google Drive, okay? And from here, I'll be able to upload whatever I want to upload. So you know what, before you do the reflection, you know, I'm gonna, you know what, I've got a slide deck on how to write a good reflection. So I'm gonna include that there. Now look over here. This is really, really uber cool, okay? This is my favorite part. I have a choice. I've now uploaded this file in here. Students can view the file, okay? Or if I click on the arrow, I can get them to edit the file that I've included here. Or, okay, let's say it's a template and you want each of them to have their own copy of it. This is my favorite. Make a copy for each student. Okay, so now what that means is when you go in as a student, okay, and you click on that file, it's going to make a copy for the student. It won't touch the master. Okay, let me repeat that. Okay, I have now included some kind of a template that I want people to populate. I want them to do it individually. I have now set the settings here for this document on make a copy for each student. Okay, if I want everybody to collaborate, okay, and contribute to the slide deck, I'm gonna pick students can edit file. Okay, if I don't want them to do anything, okay, I don't want them to touch it, I just want them to see it, I'm just gonna pick students can view the file. Okay, so you have a lot of options here in terms of the stuff that you're gonna put up. Okay, sound good so far? I'm seeing a few questions in the chat box, so if I can pop in over there. What tool would I need to use to ask for a submission that everyone can see? I'm going to get to that shortly. Okay, it wouldn't be a template to be filled in. Okay, I'll get there shortly. Okay, so let me finish off this. All right, now this is just you and now remember that this is an assignment. See this? Okay, this is just you and the student, you and the candidate. Okay, no one else is going to see what they submit. I'm now going to, let's say, you know what, I'm tired tonight. This isn't quite what I want it to be yet. I'm going to save the draft, or this is really awful. I'm just going to get rid of the draft. It's not working for me. Or you know what, it's done, but I don't want to release it until next week. I hit schedule. Okay, I'm pretty happy with what I've got. I'm going to hit assign. But before I do that, sorry, over here, I can, you know what, I'm not going to make it out of 100 points. I'm going to make it out of 4. because that's what Jen is always asking. Or it could be ungraded. Maybe this is something, you know what, I'm not going to evaluate you on it, so it doesn't matter. I can set my due date here as well. Okay, so there's a couple of places where you can do schedule things. Over here, I want it to sit under, you know, let's say, let it sit under setting directions, for example. Okay, I can create a rubric in here, and I don't want to get into that right now because I'll be honest, I haven't really explored it completely yet. But I can click on that and create the rubric for this assignment. But since it's ungraded, maybe I don't need to. And over here, if I click on that, this originality report basically helps to check to make sure that the student hasn't plagiarized. Okay, so this, if you're familiar with D2L at all, is the Turnitin feature, okay, which allows, I guess, a cross-referencing of the student's work with anything posted online. Okay, sound good so far? All right, so I've gone through a little bit of an explanation here. You'll see it's all the same and everything else. I'm now going to hit assign. Okay, and it's going to show up in the classroom. And I've set it under setting directions. Okay, so you'll see, okay, feedback and reflection from yesterday. There it is. Okay, now if you are in the class, it'll show up in your classroom now. You can actually go in and you can actually do it. So give me a moment. I want to show you from the student perspective. I can get in there. Oh, here we go, sorry. Just want to make that a little bit smaller. Okay, give me 1 sec. Let me get into my personal account. Okay, and I'm going to jump in to the classroom. You can't see this part because I'm doing it off screen somewhere else. Okay, can you see this second window that I opened up? If you can, thumbs up. Just want to make sure. Okay, good. Okay, I'm just going to split my screen. Okay, here's the Google Sandbox. I'm going in as a student now. I'm going to go in as into the class. Oh, look, there's an assignment. I have something to do in here. Of course, you've emailed me or you've posted that, you know, you've posted in the stream that there's an assignment you want me to look at. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click on view assignment. Okay. And what's kind of cool is, okay, here's this. If I click on it, it will open up the slide deck for me. Okay. And since you've given me editing rights, I can now go in and I can type it. Well, I could change the topic. Now this is my own copy. Okay. This is my own copy. So it's not touching the master. Okay. It's not touching the master and everybody's going to get their own copy. Okay. Just so that you're clear. So I'm going to change this to Google Coolness just for fun. Okay. So I'm using this as a template to complete my assignment. All right. Let me just move this toolbar over. Okay. I'm back in here. Or, okay, if I don't want to use that template, I can actually click on here and I have a couple of options. I can either create a document to reflect and respond. I can create a slide deck. It could be sheets. Maybe I want to do a drawing. Okay, maybe I want to do a drawing. So I'm going to click on that just for fun so you see what it looks like. Okay, and here's Google Draw, which is actually one of my favorites now. Actually, it's for a very simple tool. It is very robust, but I'm going to do a drawing. I am going to put a shape in, maybe a couple of shapes, well, one shape in. Oh, I am done. You'll notice when I opened up this document, it already labeled it with my name. Okay, it already titled it, so I know what assignment it is. Okay, could you imagine when we were teachers in the classroom, if we only had a tool that put the student's name on the assignment and the title of the assignment, how many hours of our lives we would have saved and try to figure out who did what? Okay, it's mind-blowing. So when I'm done that assignment, I'm gonna hit X, okay? And then, you know what, I wanna send you, the instructor, as a student now, I wanna send you a little thing. I did my best sir, and I hope you like it. Okay, that's just going to go to the instructor. Nobody else is going to see that in the class. Okay, and over here, because Jan said I have hatitude. All right, hatitude. Okay, I thought it was fairly clever. I'm going to use that line. I'm going to send a comment to everybody. I challenge everyone else to do a better job than me. Now, the joke's on me. Nobody else is going to see what I did anyway, but I can post a general comment as a student for the whole class to see. Okay, I am now going to hit turn in. All right, and it says here, okay, you'll see even the attachment is included here because it was make a copy and edit. I'm going to hit turn in. Okay, and in this case, both files have been turned in. Okay, both files have been turned in. I'm going to jump back to the teacher side of things. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. Okay, I'm going to click here. Sorry, I'm going to click here. You see this little box over here? It says, oh, somebody submitted something. Oh, look, one of the 7 who are in the class has completed their assignment. Okay, I'm going to click on the 1. And here it is. I'm going to make this a little bigger. Okay, let me just get rid of this for a moment. Just trying to do that now, sorry. I have toolbars in my way. There we go. Sorry, I'm going to make this screen bigger so you can see it. Okay, so here it is. Because I completed it, mine popped to the top. Okay, you're going to see the private comment in here. I did my best, sir, and I hope you like it. Okay, here is the 2 attachments. Okay, I'm going to click on that. It opens it up. Okay, now you'll notice it opens up a whole other window, and this is where I can assess it. I'm not going to get into this because that's not really what I want to do today. I'm going to do more on assessment and evaluation tomorrow, okay? But anyway, that's how easy it is. I can put my mark in here. Boom, I'm done. Okay? So far, so good. If we're okay, I'm going to move on to another button. Yes? Okay, I'm seeing nods and thumbs up. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now I am going to show you another piece, okay? I'm going to go into classwork. Back into classwork, I'm going to create some more content, okay? I love my CPCO generated master class, but you know what? I need to add something in. And you know what? We had such a great discussion in our Zoom session or Google Meet session that I'd like to follow up a little bit more on it. So I'm going to click on here. And what I want to do is I want to add a question, okay? I'm going to add a question. Now, question means discussion post, okay? So let's talk about hatitude. All right. We had a great discussion in class. Let's continue the discussion here. Please post one substantial response, then reply to 1 or 2 others, okay? I usually like to say 2 others, okay? I'll say 1 when I think, okay, you know what, they've got enough to do. I'll just say respond to 1 other person, okay? Again, I have the option here to add something from my Google Drive, add a link to a document or a website. Maybe I want to include a link to a website just to get you to read something from a blog or whatever. I can include a file, or maybe there's a video that I'm going to include from YouTube, okay? So I can link any of that. So this is very much like you might link something from into an email, okay? Or maybe I need to create something. You know what? I want to create a template just to make sure. And again, I have a number of different options here. It could be a form. It could be a drawing, a sheet, a slide deck, or a doc. Okay, in this case, that's not what I'm going to do. Again, I'm going to come over here to the side of my screen and work with this piece here. So it's in this class. I could actually put it in another class as well, but I'm not going to. Over here, I can choose who gets it. Okay, in this case, I want everybody. It could be, you know what? It was a conversation with a small group and I might not need everybody. Okay, so I'm only going to give it to a select few because really it was a conversation 3 or 4 of us did in a breakout room. Okay, it could be that. I'm going to actually give it to everybody again, just in case you go in. I am going to adjust the points here. Okay, make that out of a 4. I'm going to make that do, you know what? Let's make that do, actually, I want to make that do today because I want to show you something here. Okay, and if I want, I can make it due before midnight. Okay, so, you know, hopefully you're not going to be like me and be one of those, oh my God, I got to get this done. And I start like at 11:45. Okay, up here, again, I have some choices. Okay, I can hit ask. I can schedule it to be released at a certain time. I can save the draft if I'm not finished. But if I'm happy with what I'm doing, I'm going to hit ask. Okay, again, sorry about that. Should have pointed out. I like to keep things nice and neat and organized. So I'm going to stick it under setting directions as well, just like I did the other one. Okay, now over here, once I've done that, students can reply to each other. Okay, meaning they're going to respond to each other. If I uncheck it, they're not going to be able to, which kind of defeats the purpose, but it allows them to see the work. Okay, and over here, students can go back in and edit their work. Okay, so let's say as a student, I posted something that wasn't quite what I wanted. I can always click here and I can go back in and change that. If you're going to be assessing it, I like them to make a solid commitment to what they're posting. I don't want them to keep going back and editing and changing, right? So you can choose whatever you want, okay, depending on the assignment. Once I'm sure that I've got everything filled out, I'm going to hit ask. And now it has been released. So if I go into setting directions, okay, it's been released. Okay, and if I go back in as a student, okay, whoop, here I am. Yeah, here I am as a student, and some people have already gone in. Oh yeah, you're playing with that setting. Okay, as a student, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go, oh my gosh, there's something else in here for me to do. This instructor is driving me crazy. Okay, oh, a discussion, eh? I'm gonna read. It says to me as the student that I haven't completed this yet. Okay, so this is good. I'm gonna click there. And if I wanted to look at sort of an overview of what I've done and what I've not, I'm just gonna click up top. And this also shows me what I've done and what I haven't. But and that was accessed using View Your Work, which as a student is at the top of the page. Okay, I'll talk more about that tomorrow. That's me teasing tomorrow. I'm gonna click on View Question. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I am going to type my answer in here. I think yesterday was a lot of info, but what a great team it was. Okay, again, I have a couple of options before I go in. I can add a comment if I want to add a comment. I can, and this is a comment that says add class comment, meaning everybody in the class is going to see my comment. Or over here, I'm going to, mitigating circumstance. I want the teacher to understand where I'm coming from in my response. I can add a private comment. I don't have much to say in either one of these boxes for now. Okay, you'll notice that I can't see my classmates' work yet. Okay, and this is I think by design. You can't see what other people have posted until you've posted something. So, I guess it avoids those people who like to read what everybody else wrote first, and then they formulate their own opinion. In this case, you have no choice but to formulate your own opinion. And like I said, make a commitment. I am going to make a commitment and hit turn in. Okay, and I'm going to hit turn in here. I'm submitting the answer. Now it's in. Now, once it's in, you'll see over here, Okay, I'm still in as a class, as a student now, okay? So I'm here, I'm gonna click on this, okay? And now I can go in and say, oh, there you go. Oh, look, I have someone to reply to. Okay, so Judith has put, here's my comment. All right, I've posted my substantial post here, okay? Judith has posted her substantial post. Now as a student, I'm gonna click on that and I'm gonna write, I think your response was brilliant. Okay, and Judith is as such a keener, she's already done it. Thank you, Judith. I couldn't have asked for anything better. There's a reply here. Okay, I can click on it. And again, I am a student now. Okay, I like your thinking, Lou, great comment. And if I want to, I can now engage in a conversation and say, you know what, thanks, Judith. This is awesome. Okay, and now we've got an area where it's interactive, okay? And over here, as a student, I can see who has contributed as well, okay? Sound good? Now this is the student view, okay? I'm gonna go back to teacher view, and I'm seeing, oh my God, looks like people have already posted. I just posted this, okay? And you know, there's a class comment already, okay? And Judith has written, I am adding a comment, okay? So that comment everybody can see. And I can see as a teacher that 2 people of the 6 who are in the class have completed it. I'm gonna click on that. And here are the 2. I can now, you know, and they jump to the top, right? These are the completed. These are people who've not yet completed the assignment. These 2 have finished it. And now I'm in a position to, if I click on reply, I can reply to the comment, okay? Or I can just, you know what, they got it done. I'm gonna give you a 4, okay? Once I've done that, actually, you know what, Lou did it. He deserves a 4 too, okay? And what I'm gonna do is so that they see it, like if I don't hit return, Judith and Lou will not see their marks, okay? But if I hit return, okay, and a lot of times what I'll say is, you know, great, as an instructor, great, I like to spell it properly, great conversation team, thanks so much, okay? And now I'm gonna hit return, and then those marks can be seen by the student. Again, I'm not gonna go into great detail because I'm gonna do a little bit more around this tomorrow, okay? But I just wanna kind of give you sort of from creation of that, that thing to teacher, to student view, to instructor evaluating, okay? So far, so good, everybody? Time check, we're at about 4:47. Okay, our heads full yet? Our heads are pretty full, yes, yes and no, okay? I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna go back in here, okay? And I'm gonna focus on this button. That's one of my favorite buttons. It's the one that gets me where I need to go, okay? I'm gonna hit create. I always use, in the courses that have been created for CPCO thus far, okay, there are only 2 things happening. Someone's either submitting you a document or a slide or a spreadsheet. It's either an assignment, okay, and that's one-on-one, the instructor and the student, okay, or it's part of a discussion post, okay, and that and those are the 2 interactive features that are included in both the SIA course and the PQP courses, okay. I haven't delved into the quiz assignment yet, okay, but I will click on that just to show you what it looks like, okay, because I haven't delved in here yet because now we're talking about a Google form, and that's a whole other world of Google that I'd rather do in a separate session, because I've discovered what a powerful, powerful tool it is for assessment and gathering data and feedback and all of that stuff. So I don't want to get too in depth with it, but like I did with my assignment feature and with my question feature, I can give it a title. I can provide instructions in here, okay? I can add to it links, or I can create with, if I want to create some kind of a resource document, okay? But if I want to go into my quiz or my survey, I now have a blank survey quiz or a blank Google form. This is going to be a survey. I don't really want it to be a test of knowledge or anything like that. And then you've got all the other features of a Google form that we could delve into, but I really don't want to do that. Once I X out, like I do with the other things, I would go through this is going to everybody. I'm going to make this out of 4. Actually, it's an assignment, so it's ungraded. I'm going to set a due date. Okay. Let's make it tomorrow. And you know what? Let's do that. I can make it another time if I wanted to. So let's make it so you get to bed at a decent time. Okay, it's 9 o'clock is when it's due. So yeah, you only have, and because it's a Google form that they're going to be opening up. Okay, it's a quiz, okay, or a survey. They know I got to get this done before this time, otherwise it shuts down. Okay, and I'm going to hit okay. I'm out, so that's good. It's been set Thursday, April 2nd, 9 o'clock. I'm going to stick that under setting directions as well. Okay. And again, if I want to create a rubric, it's a survey. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother with the originality report. I'm going to give it one more look through to make sure I've done everything. Okay. Again, have a choice of scheduling it or saving a draft. You know what? I'm good to go here. So I'm going to click on assign, and it's just going to show up under setting directions. Okay. So if I scroll down to setting directions, okay, here it is. That's the Google form. Okay. I don't want to get into the Google form too much. There's lots there. And if your head isn't already exploding, it will. So I'm not going to bother with that today, but I'm happy to do a future session and just sort of explore that tool a little bit more. But as I said earlier, really, assignment, a discussion post, or what Google calls question. The other piece that you're going to see in the course is material, okay, and you're going to see topic, okay? So let me identify that for you. This here where it says pre-module tasks, that's the topic button, which is this, okay? This here is the assignment, okay, which is this here, okay? And if I jump down over here where you see the question mark, it's this here, all right? And you'll see throughout the rest of this course and the SIA course, that's all you've got. Topic, assignment, or discussion post, okay? And I found that that's sort of good enough for now. I have not had to use this feature yet, okay? But maybe down the road I may. And I actually have used this, but I don't want to do that right now, okay? Because I can save that for tomorrow. All right, so let me just jump into the chat box to see if I've hit. How do I see the assignment you set? Oh, you got it. Okay, good. All right. Are there, I'm going to stop share for now, okay, because we are at 4:53. Are we okay? Are there any questions that come to mind? Okay, I've recorded this, so now you can always go back and take another look at it. So that's a helpful resource for you. I would encourage you, if you haven't gotten into the Google Classroom Resource Hub, I would encourage you, just use those instructions I provided you in the email and the slide deck. Get yourself in there, and then you can start to see some of the material, and then I'll start to populate some of the emptier areas as I get more stuff or as we sift through things. Okay? Sound good? Yes? Okay, awesome. All right. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's all I'll show you today, and I'll show you some other stuff tomorrow, okay? So if nobody has any questions, if you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, we're done for today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is awesome, okay? Have a great evening. Stay safe and healthy, and look after your families. Bye.
Thank you.